What makes a house a home? We've been searching the country for Scotland's Home of the Year. Now our judges are visiting the top 3 from each region before choosing one to go through to our national final. Scoring them on architectural merit, distinctive design and personal style are interior designer Anna Campbell-Jones.
What I'm looking for in a home is individuality, imagination and integrity. And of course, that most important ingredient, love.
Architect Danny Campbell.
What I'm looking for in a home is an inventive use of space, with a deep connection to its site, delivered with such originality that I can't help but feel inspired.
And Isle of Mull-based interior designer Banjo Beale.
I'm looking for homes that are packed full of character, packed full of personality, and something that tells me about the characters that live there.
This is a really special room.
Proper country kitchen for crafty country people.
I think I'm going to feel right at home here.
In the end, only one can be Scotland's Home of the Year. Our judges are visiting the shortlist in the West. They're starting with a 1960s converted bungalow in Milngavie, home to Anna, Harry, and their daughters Marley and Lexi.
We first moved in 2011 and the house was empty, so we just immediately got to work
And only 4
decorating
rooms.
it. And only 4 rooms. It was tiny. So we put the upstairs on, and then a couple of years ago we did the bigger extension at the back.
The interiors are kind of a weird thing. I mean, we both went to art school, but we both work in jobs that are not completely linked to that. So this is kind of our outlet for that. And I think the main thing...
Frustrated artist.
Yeah. And I think the main thing is it's just like, it's just fun. He's really good at all the practical stuff. And I go, I want stripes. And he goes and does it. And I go, no.
Now you go, take those stripes off. And I'm like, okay, dear.
Yeah.
I think that's what's nice about me and Anna. We've got very similar thoughts and tastes and ideas. So the house is kind of a reflection of us.
The property has been extended to the back, so the kitchen leads down to an open-plan dining and lounge area. There's also a separate living room, family bathroom, and 2 bedrooms on this floor. The dormer has 2 further bedrooms, including a main with dressing area and ensuite.
This is my favourite spot in the home because when we first bought the house, this is actually where the toilet was. So every time I opened the front door, I would see the toilet, and now I see this.
Armed with only the basic facts about the property, the judges get their first look at 1960s bungalow.
Oh yes, now we're talking. I love a bungalow. The Swiss Army knife of house types, and I can already see multiple extensions. I think I'm going to be in heaven here.
I love that the front door of the original bungalow and the extension are both painted that same lovely raspberry red.
And it's packed full of plants in that front window, isn't it? This is...
Don't say jungalow.
I won't say that. All right, those plants are calling me. Let's go. Wow. Oh, the heart already. This is cool.
It's wild.
This is really interesting column in the middle. It's either a very cleverly disguised SVP or it's a very narrow steel column.
I love that we come in here into this spectacular space and the first thing you want to talk about is the poo pipe.
You're really bringing the tone down.
Architects are obsessed with plumbing.
Yeah. Obsessed with poo.
We hate it.
It's got to go somewhere, doesn't it?
Yeah.
People often create this dark space in the middle when they add an extension onto their home, and this roof light running across deals with that perfectly and floods the worktop with natural light.
The level change as well is a really interesting way of dealing with a stepped garden. You're down, you're getting the inside-outside thing whilst actually not having to go outside yet.
Yeah. Gorgeous worktop. I love the ply cupboards and that interesting kind of detail shape's a little bit unexpected.
Oh, this is fun. Right, Banjo, let's go.
Okay, I'm going to umpire. Hang on.
Right. You look sporty.
I'm ready to go.
Yes! Oh,
You win.
Yeah.
I've always wanted a reclaimed gym floor. It's such a brilliant example of how a recycled material can add so much more, all these little splashes of colour.
There's an energy in this space, isn't there? Not just the sports equipment, but there's height, there's things popping out, there's loads of fun stuff going on here.
Getting a buzz, this is what exercise must feel like. It's like a rumpus room, isn't it? It's just fun.
It's so energising, the way the pattern just wraps around the room. And they've done it on the ceiling. It just looks like little strips of electrical tape. It's such a cheap and easy way to create a really fun pattern.
This is wild.
Right, well, this is the original part of the bungalow with the fireplace and the bay window. The difference is it's been smashed in the face by objet d'art.
Objet d'art. That's what obnoxious people call knickknacks.
Every single object in this room is absolutely fascinating and so diverse. I mean, I kind of want it all. I love the idea of the suburban bungalow and doing this contemporary answer to Artex on the ceiling.
Is that wallpaper, or do you think they've painted it on? It's wallpaper. Neighbours walking past. Hello, yes. They're just jealous they don't live here.
I'm jealous of I don't live here.
I am too. This is a space.
Oh, well, have a look at this, guys.
This is mad.
I love the way they've created impact with such simple decisions. Every bathroom has to have a towel rail, but buy it in red, and then you've got something completely different going on.
Those tiles with that nifty little pattern, it's really cool.
There's a surprise around every corner, even under the toilet seat there's somebody happy to see you.
Well, there's a pretty wild zebra staircase around that corner, so we should probably check that out.
Let's have a look.
I'm so happy for the owners, because they must be like young at heart, because everywhere is fun, every which way you look.
This would have been a dank, cramped loft space, and now it's this massive, luxurious bedroom. Adding a dormer is a clever way to get more space, but can also add up to 20% onto the house value as well, which is a great investment for people with bungalows.
I'm loving this dystopian bedspread with all these weird creatures on it, and then you look out the window and there's this, like, lovely hills.
They're having fun with every little thing in here, aren't they?
How will the judges rate 1960s bungalow? 1 mark will be held back until they've seen all 3 homes, when their combined scores will be revealed.
These types of bungalows repeat themselves a lot throughout the west of Scotland. I've seen so many extensions, but I've never seen something like this. It embodies the personality of the homeowners, and that's really blown me away. I'm going to give this home a 10.
This is just an artful, fun, fabulous home, and they've transformed what could be a boring bungalow into just a magic little masterpiece. They've taken really interesting materials and turned them into something pretty spectacular. I'm going to give this home a 10.
This home provides so much excitement by using and embellishing ordinary things in extraordinary ways. I think this is one of the best examples I've ever seen of somebody trusting their heart when making decisions about what to put in their home. If you really love something, it will work with the other things that you have.
Next up in the west is a ground floor flat in Helensburgh. Lower conversion is home to Chloe, Fiona and Ruby the Wiesla.
So when we first bought the property, it hadn't been touched in over 30 years. So we moved in with my dad and spent the first 8 months renovating it. That was back in 2019.
That was very memorable 8 months.
Yeah, we filled 12 skips. So we completely ripped it out ourselves. I really wanted to panel in the house. So my mum and I watched some YouTube tutorials and we did the whole house. We bought ourselves a wood saw, we bought ourselves some tool belts and
A nail gun.
everything out with our bed and our sofas has come from someone else.
I found real joy in the hunting for things. I absolutely loved it and driving all across the country to pick it up.
We got married in the garden and the marquee company came out and said, you can have the 10, but you can't have floor because your garden's, you know, like this. So we had a big wonky wedding on the garden and it was brilliant. to see it now done and to remember what it was and
To remember how bad it was. Constant rubble.
coming here every day in the rain, I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud of us.
Yeah.
I think it's an amazing achievement.
The converted apartment includes a living room, and across the hallway they've knocked through to create an open-plan kitchen and dining room, and there's a separate utility. There are 3 bedrooms, 1 with ensuite, and a further 2 bathrooms.
So this is our favourite spot in our home, not only because this is our favourite room, but we just never tire of that view.
What will the judges make of lower conversion?
Wow, that's an impressive edifice, isn't it?
It's a big, handsome Victorian cube on the hill.
It's a gorgeous sandstone building. I love those copper lights. It's making a very nice first impression.
Should we go and see? I love that we've got a hallway with a view of the water. That's really unusual.
This is really where you'd expect the staircase to be. The coving stops very suddenly up there. It's a very difficult detail when you're changing an older property into apartments.
I'm loving this. I'm loving this floor.
This is actually a luxury vinyl tile flooring. It's done really, really well.
Fancy but cheap.
Just like you.
Yeah, baby. But that is looking really chic through there too. Shall we go and have a look?
Yeah.
I love they've taken down this wall and really opened up the kitchen dining space and lined everything up with that amazing view.
I love a ladder in a kitchen. That's just my dream kitchen. I don't care about the rest.
The 2 doors are really bugging me. I really want to remove one of those and give that space back to something more useful.
Those panelling details, do you think they're original? I mean, what came first, the cute little puppy portrait or the panelling? Because that fits just perfect there.
I really enjoy the contrast in scale with this 60s furniture designed for much smaller homes in this big, grand Victorian setting. I think it works really well because it gives you much more space to move around. They've even got room for a sofa.
I love it because it's not overcooked, it's not overstyled. There's lots of little personal touches in here. It's a home.
Oh, guys, look, the heart.
There it is.
So, standing next to this lovely old sideboard, looking out at that view, I feel every inch the Victorian gentleman.
And you are. And us gentlemen take a seat and don't even ask if you'd like to join
Yeah,
us.
thanks.
I love the colour, little verdigris number to match the lanterns outside. It feels, I'm sure at night, a really lovely, cosy room.
Do you think they've stopped the paint a bit too short? Would you have done the ceiling as well?
Yes, I definitely would. This room could take a colour drenching. I'd paint the windows the same colour as well. We've got an interesting fireplace TV solution in here by placing them opposite each other and then having the sofas perpendicular. You can choose whether you're watching the TV or whether you look at the fire. It works as long as you like to lie down to watch TV.
This is a classic Victorian front room. Growing up in Helensburgh, I always imagined what each of the different front rooms would look like.
Oh, servant's bell. You should press that, Denny. Get Anna to get me a drink.
Ding dong.
Make it a double. This is nice and calm, isn't it?
It's lovely.
Got your chaise lounge. That's how you say it?
Yes.
You say it so fancy, like chaise lounge.
They've really gone to town everywhere in this home with the OG beading to form this panelling effect. I'm just quite surprised that they haven't done it on the wall opposite the bed.
Yeah, you're right. You're looking at the most boring wall in the house there. You've got to do something opposite your bed because that's what you're staring at. Something is telling me to put the bed on that wall. You know when you shouldn't face the door in all feng shui and you're in danger? I feel in danger in this room.
I think they've got the bed in the only place it can be. We've got a door to the ensuite here, and that wall has got the door into the room. I think it'd be very disconcerting to be lying next to that door.
Maybe you'd feel more comfortable napping on the chaise longue, Banjo.
I probably would.
Wow. This bathroom is palatial. Look at this shower. Danny, you could get the whole rugby team in here.
Whoa, now we're talking.
Isn't it amazing how the styling of a room makes you feel? I feel like I need to be on my best behaviour in here.
It's very, very grand, isn't it? That is quite the cistern.
Do you know what? I think this used to be the kitchen in here. In homes of this era, the kitchen was less of a big deal. It was a clever design move moving it to the main part of the house.
And you could still have a burger in here.
Yeah.
Boys do.
You guys are weird.
What do you eat in the bathroom, Anna?
Yeah, I bet you'll eat kale.
I bet it's kimchi.
Kimchi.
How will the judges rate lower conversion?
It's always very difficult to change the functions of rooms in a Victorian property, and they've done it really successfully. There's a really easy mixture of vintage, second-hand, and contemporary furniture in this home, which just makes it feel really genuine. I'm going to give this home a 9.
This is a gorgeous home that has been brought back to life, and the owners have done such a fabulous job making this house sing. I think the kitchen is a showstopper. I think they could have been a little bit bolder with some of their decisions, and maybe it would make this house sing even more. I'm going to give this home an 8.
This is a beautifully restored Victorian property. I love how the styling has been really consistent and has features from the same era, like the cast iron radiators and the sanitary ware. There's been a couple of little details that have stuck out for me. The cornicing disappearing into the ceiling where the stairs would have been, and also the double doors going into the kitchen dining space.
The final home in the West is an eco-friendly modern build in Dunlop. Large Clad House is home to Anna, Mo, and their French bulldogs Betty and Ruby.
We always wanted to move to Scotland, wanted to move to the countryside, and the second we saw her, we thought it's very good for the soul. It feels like our mental well-being has improved dramatically since moving from Brighton to Scotland. We just feel so much better for it.
And the dogs absolutely love it. So many fields, so many sniffs, premium sniffs we call them, just so they enjoy it so much, and we just couldn't be happier.
It's very eco-friendly. It's triple glazed throughout.
We have a air filtration system. We also have underfloor heating, air source heat pump.
We've always had a passion for Scandi interiors, so we kind of try to combine a bit of modern, a bit of minimalist, a bit of mid-century. We tend to agree on most things. But,
You're the one that finds it.
Yeah.
I'm the one that moans about having to go and get it.
Yeah, I think we're very, very, very proud of the home and can't wait to live here for the rest of time.
The architect-designed home has been built with Passive House principles in mind and includes an open-plan kitchen, diner and living room downstairs, as well as a guest bedroom with ensuite and a bathroom. Upstairs, there are 3 bedrooms, including a main with walk-in closet and ensuite. There's also another bathroom, an office space in the hallway, and a reading nook.
This is our favourite spot in the home because of the dual aspect windows. We get to see the countryside. Also, this is where we get together with all of our friends, neighbours and family.
Time for the judges to explore Larch Clad House.
Wow, what a cute little area.
It's very bucolic, isn't it?
I love that vernacular style gable end. It's just traditional house, but also a bit different.
The landscaping's really beautiful. I love this gabion filled with chunky rocks.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You've got that Japanese bonsai planting. You've got kind of a Scandinavian vibe. We could be anywhere in the world, but we're in Dunlop.
I think this house was based on Passive House principles, which means it should have a quite high energy efficiency rating. Should we get inside and conserve some energy?
Let's do it.
Wow, we've got height straight in the door. Some nice layers of white here going on, although it's quite monotone. There's a lot of depth going on. It's interesting.
I imagine that as the sun moves around this home, the light will be bouncing off all of these white surfaces and creating all different kinds of atmospheres. I feel like I'm inside a cardboard model.
Yeah.
Like Honey, I Shrunk the Judge.
Yeah.
That's you every day.
We've got that window at the end creating a vista. It's kind of drawing us that way.
Ooh.
It is. A bit Scandinavian vibe in here as well. I love the beachy colour to the big sliding doors there. They've not gone for the anthracite like the outside.
Skipandi. Scottish, Japanese, and Danish. Copenhagen.
I love that we can see all the way through the building on both sides from this position.
I like how they've not gone full open plan. They've kept this big chunky partition in the middle that, you know, would make you think it's made out of stone by its thickness.
I really enjoy that artwork, the patina, the texture of that. It's really natural. And when you paint your house white, that just lets all the artwork and the little things sing.
And they've gone for the detail with the textures on the furniture, with the rattan and velvet, and then this beautiful dark wood. I like the way they've mixed up vintage style furniture, contemporary furniture, and these vintage pieces. I think a home this new needs something with that patina of age to give it character.
Oh, we found the favourite spot.
There she is.
I love...
Oh, look at that. Just hugging the TV. But then you've got a view every which way.
This sofa is completely modular. Every single one of these cubes could be rearranged. I was expecting to see a fireplace around the other side of this wall.
You could have a fireplace, but it would kind of defeat the purpose of having a passive house. It's all about having consistent temperature and energy efficiency. Why would you go to the bother of putting in triple glazing and all that insulation?
Yeah, you've got the fire outside there. The lounge is configured like a little conversation pit. I feel very relaxed. You really feel down to earth here. You're in the landscape, aren't you?
There we go. We've got a compulsory Eames
lovely.
lounger for me to sit in.
Oh, I love that. What a spot to thrash out some work as well. Good use of a kind of thoroughfare, isn't it?
I think it's really good having your home office as part of the circulation space. It helps you feel connected to other people in the home. It's much less lonely.
Yeah, it feels like an indoor balcony holiday space. Do you feel like do you want a pina colada?
Would you feel you're in therapy?
You're in therapy.
Will you stop asking me questions?
I think you've got some things to work on, so we'll just go do some work.
You've forgotten your password again?
Always. To whom it may concern.
Have you done that email, Banjo?
Yeah,
Obviously
I'll have
not.
it to you by close of play. Oh, this is what a real job feels like.
Yeah.
It's stressful. Wow.
Living room in the bedroom, that's the dream.
You are living the dream with that.
I love the wavy patterns of this upholstery and these other kind of soft forms, sort of softening the edges of this modernist home. It feels like they've got some more slightly personal things in this space, like the artworks and this slightly fogyish vintage armchair. I think that's what a home like this needs.
Got the arch over the bed. They've added an arch there into the walk-in robe, so arches the back.
And because this room spans the whole width of the building, you have windows on both sides, which means
So you'll be
your
getting
morning
your
light,
morning light
evening
hitting the
light.
bed, which is
Yeah.
perfect if you struggle to get up in the morning. I'm sure you wouldn't even struggle to get out of bed here, Banjo.
I'm up before you. I've got my run, I've got my yoga, I'm doing my keto, my shakes, you know. Try not to get me out of this bed. My body's a temple, and this house makes me feel even healthier.
What will the judges score Large Clad House?
It's sometimes really difficult to take a building of a particular methodology and drop it in a landscape as picturesque as this, but I think it works really well. This home isn't just styled beautifully inside, but architecturally it's built differently. And it's got that sustainability characteristic as well, which for me is the cherry on top. I'm going to give this home a 10.
I I think people feel that there are certain rules about how you furnish and populate a modernist architect-designed home. And here I can sense that the homeowners have pushed it a little further. This white shell acts as a backdrop for the artwork and the objects that these homeowners have collected, and also for the really beautiful new pieces that they've added. I'm going to give this home a 10.
I love how grounded this home is in the environment. I think they've really been mindful about their footprint on the planet, and where it's been placed, they've incorporated lots of natural textures, and it feels really calm and inviting and just a lovely space to be in. Maybe I would have loved a few more colours and maybe a little bit more fun, but it's a beautiful home to be in.
Now that the judges have seen all 3 homes, the final scores can be revealed. First, it was 1960s bungalow in Mulgai.
So we're going to talk about this bevy of beauties from the West, starting with the 60s bungalow. Banjo, you gave it a 10. And Danny, you gave it a 10 as well. I was completely overwhelmed by the art and the colourful playfulness in this home. What an amazing place to bring up children. So stimulating, so exciting, and so much fun. I also gave it a 10.
Yay!
Yeah.
Which gives the 60s bungalow 30.
Whew, flying start.
Good start.
Next up, lower conversion in Helensburgh.
Okay, it's a tough act to follow, but now we're talking about this serene lower conversion. I gave it a 9, and Banjo gave it an 8. Danny, what did you think of it?
Well, it was a beautifully styled home in my hometown of Helensburgh. It is a conversion and they're often tricky to deal with, and there was a few details that really gave it away. I gave it an 8.
Right, so that gives the lower conversion 25.
Still a lovely home, wasn't it?
And finally, large clad house in Dunlop.
And last we come to this exquisitely sustainable country home, the larch-clad house. Danny, you gave it a 10.
I was impressed.
I also gave it a 10. Banjo,
Oh,
what were your thoughts?
drum roll. Well, I thought it was a fabulous passive house. It was full of natural textures and it felt awfully calm to be inside. I think I would have loved to have seen a bit more personality, some colour. So for that reason, I gave it a 9. I'm sorry.
Ooh, so that gives the larch-clad house 29. Oh, so close.
1 point in it.
So our eccentrically colourful finalist for the West is the 60s bungalow.
A worthy finalist. This one really blew me away.
It was the ping pong for me. Winner, baby.
1960s bungalow wins in the West and is one step closer to being Scotland's Home of the Year. Next time,
Stunning.
the judges are in the Highlands and Islands
You don't have your own apothecary?
as the search continues for Scotland's Home of the Year.